We're in pole position in section F for sports and convertibles. Beautiful Rover. That's nice. A sports saloon. Ooh, bonny little standard. We like that. So is that the 123E? Incredible looking car. So what's that, a 59? Look at that. That is fantastic. A lovely Bedford CA camper. One of the Martin Walter Dormobiles. That's a very clean Polo. Sunbeam Alpine, complete with lovely wheel trims on it as well. Could do one of those as an OCC Works van. One of the Aeroflow cars. Not a ripple in sight.
Let's have you in the arena.
I had the back wheel fall off on that corner on mine. Bank of Mum and Dad came into play there. Long wheelbase V12. Well, afternoon folks, here is one particularly grubby Mazda MX-5. Harley's kindly volunteered to drive it for me over to where the hosepipe is because we need to give it a wash, because tomorrow we're hoping, anyway, to go off to Weston Park for the big classic car show for Easter 2024, and the plan is to go and take this. It's looking a little bit grubby, but we have used it a fair bit recently, so we're going to spruce this one up, and all being well we'll be able to go down to Weston Park. Oh, morning sir. Oh, afternoon even, yes. Yeah, alright. So you've got your matching jumper on. What can I say? Yeah, what can we say? But yeah, if we look over here, over yonder, it's been very, very wet lately. And we're just hoping that the show tomorrow and on Bank Holiday Monday will actually go ahead, because the ground is probably going to be a little bit boggy down there. Today was nice, tomorrow's meant to be nice, but how quickly the grounds at Weston Park will dry out and drain off, I'm not quite sure. We had thought about taking a Pilot, but I think it's quite a bit big and a bit heavy to be there we go. The Pilot is probably a bit big and a bit heavy to put onto a very damp field like this. So I think we'll give that one a miss, and we'll take the Mazda tomorrow, which is a little bit lighter. And that is assuming the show actually goes ahead. It's probably one of the first big outdoor shows for 2024 that we'll be going to. Of course, I went to the NEC not that long ago, and this is probably the first of the big outdoor walk and talk, walk around type shows and videos that I hope to do this year. Fingers crossed. Well, morning folks, we've made it to Weston Park for the first show here of 2024. As I mentioned yesterday, in the run-up to today, there has been an awful lot of rain recently, and even we had a few traction issues getting in. But we're not the only ones. Some of the big heavy cars are really struggling. It's still early doors. It's only just after 8:30 in the morning, so there'll be plenty of cars still to arrive. But even now, the ground is looking pretty boggy, and I think there'll be many, many more cars getting stuck before the end of the day. So I think we will wander down towards the entrance. I can already see some more MX-5s over the back there. I think we'll wander down towards the entrance and just record some of the cars as they pull in, and hopefully there'll be quite a few here despite the slightly dubious ground conditions. And the Granada's getting a bit of assistance. I did wonder whether even bringing any rear wheel drive car might be a bit of an issue here today. Fortunately, the MX-5 was light enough just to keep the speed. Once we got the momentum going, as long as we kept moving, we were okay in getting into place. It's a bit of a breezy day and the sun should be out, so hopefully it'll dry the ground off a little bit. Fingers crossed anyway. Definitely quite a few rear wheel drive cars coming in. I think some parts of the field are okay, and some parts, like up here, are less so. We are quite high up here actually compared to the rest of the land that's around, so I had thought that maybe up here it would have drained a bit better, but it doesn't appear to be the case. But these cars are moving, and I think the idea is as long as you keep moving, you've got a reasonable chance of getting in. But yeah, it's not ideal. Well, we're in pole position in section F for sports and convertibles. Anyway, Harley's walked off, so I think I'll go and catch him up. A big old Lincoln, I think.
I've never seen one for years.
There's a lovely Rover P4, an early Cyclops model with a lamp in the middle. One of those is definitely on the possibles list one day. That could be a very, very usable classic car, I think. I do like those. A bit of wood and leather. Yeah. Nice car. Lower boot line compared to the later P4s. We've got a Mercedes SL, the SLC, the long wheelbase version of the 107 SL Cabriolet, but that's got a fixed roof, the SLC. Again, rear wheel drive, so yeah, keep moving. Beautiful Rover, that's nice, a sports saloon. Hotly pursued by Mini, A-Reg Ford Sierra. Wow, those used to be everywhere at one time. Of course, the replacement for the Ford Cortina, not everyone took to the shape to begin with. Used to call them jelly molds. It was quite an advanced looking car, very aerodynamic for its time as well. There's an XK8 behind that. Next up, an XJ6, the X300 series XJ6. There's always quite a mix of later cars and classic cars at these events, so we'll try and show a bit of everything, but as I say on all these videos, we will be prioritising the older cars. There's an E38 7 Series BMW, a 735i, so that's the 6-cylinder car. Saab Cabriolet. Escort Mark II with Millington engine by the look of the screen band. Escort Mexico Mark II, Focus, Jensen Healy, very, very nice too. It's Lotus twin cam engine just pottering away there, just above idle, trying not to lose traction on this soggy grassy field. That is a Nova, that is a VW based Nova. And the whole roof assembly lifts up in order to get in and out of that. That's quite an unusual car. We'll try and have a look at that a bit later. If you ever saw the film Condor Man with Michael Crawford, he drove one of those. There's that gorgeous CV8, 1965. And there's that Saab 96, a turbocharged Saab 96 that we saw at the NEC just a week ago. Got a van, attempted moving of a van here with pickup truck. We'll have a proper walk around the parked up cars a little bit later, but for now let's go and have a look, see what's arriving here at Weston Park. We've got a Skyline, a Nissan Skyline, so Harley will be happy about that. He's a big fan of those. I think the GTR is a 4-wheel drive, but he's wandered off to the Auto Jumble, so I'll have to rely on my scant knowledge of Japanese market cars. Mitsubishi Evo, and here we have an F-Type Vauxhall Victor Estate, taking it very easy, but of course nice skinny tyres, a Victor Super no less. What a great car that is. Yeah, hopefully this breeze and a bit of sun, an S-Type Jaguar, a bit of sun will just dry the ground out a little bit, hopefully. The independent rear suspension of the S-Type Jaguar working there to keep the car moving. I can just see the rear wheels starting to spin. Sunbeam Rapier has no problem. Of course, they were popular cars in the Monte Carlo Rally in the late 50s and early 60s, so he should be alright in that. There's an MGZ TT being hotly pursued by another big old estate car. Is that a Mazda? Is that a 929? I'm a little bit hazy on some of my old Japanese cars, but I've got a feeling that's a 929 or something very similar to that. Mark 1 Capri behind, followed by the Mark 1 Full Capri, a Lotus XL, followed by another Lotus XL, a Mini, a Nissan 300ZX in yellow there, just hiding behind the tree. We've got an RS Turbo, turbocharged Escort there, Mini, and the Mark III Cortina pickup, which I think came in from South Africa. Beautiful pre-war Lanchester here. What's this, a 10 horse or 11 horse maybe? Of course at the time they were owned by Daimler, and if you have a close look at some of the Daimlers of the 1930s, you'll see the shape of the scuttle here with this sort of ledge on the side. It's common to them both. Just remembered I needed some extra batteries before I go walking off down to the driveway. Oh, what's he been doing? What's he bought now? What's he bought? More tinnage. You been busy? You have been to the Auto Jumble, haven't you? A Serval multi-grade. Ooh, that's nice, isn't it?
That is very nice.
Wow, nice find.
30.
What for that?
Yeah.
That's alright, isn't it?
There is an ESO one as well, so yeah. But I've spent up now.
Oh, that's beauty, isn't it?
15.
Wow, you've done well there, haven't you?
8.
8?
There's another one there if you want it.
Blimey.
There's a full one there for 8 if you want it.
Is there? Nice work. Of course, Morris is Shrewsbury, not far from where we are today. Anyway, let's not get too distracted. Yeah, very, very tasty tinnage there, young man. Bit of filming going on here for the Car Traction YouTube channel. Yeah, light little front wheel drive cars on very skinny tyres. That's the car to be in today. As I think I said yesterday, that's one of the reasons I didn't bring the Pilot here today. We had thought about doing a few test runs and then bring it down, but big heavy rear wheel drive car, it wouldn't go well. Even the rear wheel drive Mazda struggled a bit. Keep moving, keep moving. The old Granada there. There's a Mark IV Ford Cortina just pulled in. You don't see those all that often. That must be one of the rarest variants of the Ford Cortina, I would have thought. That definitely seems to be the rarest at the shows we go to anyway. A sporty Escort should have no problem with these muddy conditions. Let's get out of the way. The Bonnie Morris Minor again. Nice narrow tyres. Bit of wheel spin, but keep moving, keep moving. It's a little Fiat 600 rear engine. So the engine over the wheels, so that should help a little bit. And a Moggy pickup. Ooh, bonny little standard, we like that. Got a standard 10, or 948cc of it. Very, very nice indeed. A brace of Ford Cortina Mark IIs. .8i Capri, nice Cortina GT, a 4-door, very nice too, followed by a Mini, a Triumph Stag, a Staffordshire registered Triumph Stag in brown with hardtop, very nice, 3 litre V8 burble there, and a great little Mini behind. Another standard 10, fantastic, a little beauty in grey there. Beautiful Triumph 2.5, the 2500S, the E30 BMW 3 Series, MGB Roadster. I seem to remember doing this last year. Riley Elf, very, very nice too. MGB in Harvest Gold, same colour as Dad's. Mark IV Ford Escort, 7 Series BMW Alpina, E38 Series. Z4, the Rover P6, the 2000, the Rover 2000. Very, very nice. I can see my youthful assistant just in the distance. Mark II Astra there. Fancy a Delta HF Turbo, arguably probably rarer than the Integral is now. A Capri, is that a 2 litre S or a 3 litre S? A 2 litre S with trailer. RS 3.1. Another Capri and another Capri. I think we've got a gaggle of Capris coming in now. I seem to remember doing this very walk this time last year, all the way down to the entrance in fact, so I wasn't sure how many cars will be turning up today. Oh, nice, very original looking Rover SD1. So that's a 2.6 AW, that's a Shropshire series, so that isn't too far from its original home. And a Capri, oh, we've got quite a gaggle of Ford Capris here today. This one on an S plate, very nice too, and a Cortina Estate. A Mark V Ford Cortina Estate. Morning. And another Capri over here. This is the 280 Brooklands, the last of the line, with a 2.8 V6. Morning. Get up here out of the way, get up on the bank a little bit. Right, oh yeah, they're starting to really pour in now. You can see them going off into the distance. Got a Mustang here, and an Austin Montego. Rather, a Rover Montego. This is one of the later cars, hotly pursued by an Austin A40 Farina Mark 1. Of course we approve of that, we've got one of those sat at home. How bonny is that? Horizon blue, I think that is. All over one colour, and it's a Countryman as well with a lift up rear window. Very rare sights here today at Weston Park. Ooh. Doff my hat. A magnificent Rolls Royce. What model are we looking at there, I wonder? Yes, very, very nice indeed. What a beauty that is. Great little Triumph Dolomite there on an L plate. So what's that, about 1972 or maybe 73? I can hear some air-cooled VW-ness. Here we go. The Devon camper version. A TR7 rally car, or rather TR8, well TR7 V8, let's get it right. And a Citroen Traction Avant, a front wheel drive Citroen Light 15. Beautiful. There's a Jaguar, the X-Type, the diesel version of the Jaguar X-Type, and an MG Magnet no less. One of my favourite saloons of the 1950s, powered by the BMC, the B-Series engine. Lovely car, those twin carburetors. Really, really nice car. And the Triumph Roadster. Wonder if that's one of the ones that was at the NEC the other day. And the FF, the four-wheel drive Ferguson Formula. The mighty Chrysler V8 rumbling away there. Four-wheel drive, so I wonder how that will go on with the muddy conditions. And a Lotus Elan Plus 2 behind that. Beautiful Rover P2, a pre-war P2 drop head coupe. What a Bobby Dazzler that is. We've got a bay window VW camper and a 1966 Ford Anglia Super. So is that the 123E, I think? Very, very cool indeed. We've got a kit car here based on a Jaguar XK8. It's a very modified Jaguar XK8. The Morris Minor Traveller, that one looks super original. Lovely paint on this 1966 Traveller. So original that is. How cool is that? Original plates on the back as well. Proper time warp car, that one. Another car going into the replica Italian club stand. Mark II Escort. Now which model is this one? Is it a Sport? Is that a Harrier? I'm not quite sure. Either way, looks very nice and sounds even better. On the RS alloy wheels. Oh, quite a late one on a V plate. Let's keep going down here. We've got an XR3i Cabriolet. And there's my youthful assistant in the distance. Let's go and try and catch up with him before he speeds off with all his youthful vim and vigour and energy. Something that I don't possess. Ooh, bonny little Rover 25 there, TT. Nice one. Ooh, another one here. This is the MG version, the ZR Estate. Estate, it's a hatchback. What am I talking about? A little bit rusty, not been to one of these shows for a little while. Gaggle of minis, that's a Mini 25. That was the 25th anniversary model, that one. Another Mini there. Lotus XL. Another Discovery 2001 Discovery 2. Planning on heading this way, so we'll keep out of their way. And what do we have there? Wow, a Simca Aronde Coupe. Wowzers, we've got to have a look at the front of that. Let's get that coming in. Look at the wheel trims, they're beautiful. What a great looking car that is. MR2 Mark 1 follows that really interesting Simca. Extremely fruity sounding Mini. And another fruity Mini, Wolseley Hornet. Great looking Series 3 Landy there, diesel power. A little Mini 95 van there. Mark II VW Golf. This one we see at Crew Heritage on a regular basis, this E34 BMW 5 Series. Always good to see that one out and about. And a beautiful Cortina, followed by an Alfa Romeo. Vauxhall Astra, is that the Mark III Astra, I think? There's a very bonny, very original looking Maestro there. I've got a feeling we saw this one at Crew Heritage just a couple of weeks ago. This is an ex-police spec, one of the oldest Maestros around, I think, base spec. But yeah, this belonged to officers of the law, I seem to remember. Their owners very keen on Maestros and Montegos. We've got a Suzuki GT 750. The mighty Corvette Stingray. And what do we have on the trailer behind the Skoda? An interesting looking Mini. So it's a Mini with the outside door hinges and the slidey windows, but with a Clubman front end on it. It's on a K plate. Interesting. Behind that, a Mark II VW Golf GTI. A variety of other cars, including a huge tractor. S-Type Jaguar there. It's a 3 litre V6 engine. Same engine as is in Dad's XJ. Look at this mighty Massey Ferguson. What a beast. What a monster that is. Ooh, the cars are pouring in here today. And the classic Jag, that's the V8, the XJ Executive. Lovely Mark I Cortina, 1966. Mark I Cortina Super, no less. Very nice too. Rover 75. Got a Jaguar XKR. That's the supercharged version of the XK8. You can always tell those by the extra little louvers in the front bonnet. Your regular non-supercharged V8s don't have the extra louvers. OCC registration number. That's very cool indeed. What are we looking at there? Is that a little Perodua Nipper, if I remember right? What an interesting little car that is. SLK and a beautiful Riley RM, the 1.5 litre Riley RM. Very oh, another A40 behind it. I'm getting very excited seeing all this A40 action here this morning. What a beauty that is. Dad's a big fan of the Riley RMs. He used to own these back in the 1960s saloon, and he also had an RM Roadster. And there we go, fantastic, a Farina Grey Austin A40. A40 Mark 1 with the 2 little no-tech spot lamps on the front there. What a great car that is. Putting me to shame with this one on the road. Original registration plate and number as well, so that's good to see. But yeah, it's a super clean car. Farina Grey with the black roof. Is this the saloon? I think this is the saloon version. It is indeed. What do we have here? Beautiful two-tone Daimler with the fluid flywheel, the Wilson pre-selector gearbox. What a great car that is. The Daimler. Is that the Conquest? I think so, yes.
That A40's got a boot.
Hey?
It's got a proper boot instead of the hatchback.
Yes, it has. Yeah, a Cavalier convertible here. We've seen this one before somewhere. I'm not quite sure where, but we've seen it before. What do we have over here? A little A35 on road style wheels. Now this one I think has been spotted around and about near where we live with a little one-wheel trailer on the back. Yeah, it's got a tow bar. MGB GT, looking very nice indeed. Thumbs up from the owner, so thanks for that. Nissan Micra. What's going on with this Moggy? Wowzers. Good grief. So it's an MM. That's a late MM, so about 1952, but obviously very, very modified. Very wide arches on that particular car, so things aren't as they were originally built down at Cowley in the early 1950s. And another example of the Capri 2-litre S. Ooh, a Vauxhall Tigra. It's been a while since I've seen one of those. Ford Fiesta, got an early disco with a Honda badge on the front. Confusing. Lovely Chevrolet Camaro here. Morning, sir. Type LT it says on the side. MGTD follows that. Real variety of cars. We've got a Modern X K8s, a pair of those. MGTF 2003. MGTF, that was the revised version of the MGF with another one behind it, this one with hardtop. So a few extra creature comforts for that particular driver compared to the one in front. And here we got a Series 2 E-Type Roadster. Very nice 4.2 litre straight 6 engine in that one. Very nice. And a very fruity sounding MGB GT here. I'm still a bit rusty walking around these shows, but we'll get there in the end. Very nice, that sounds really cool. Nice wheels. And it's got a roll cage in it as well. Another B here, very nice car on wire wheels. MGR V8. Let's keep going down here, see what we can see. There are cars pouring in now. An MGB Roadster. Another MGTF, and behind that, another example of the Magnet. This is a Veritone MG Magnet, very similar to the ZB. Actually, the Veritones were later because they had the bigger back window, so that's an early Magnet, but in the sort of the colour scheme of one of the later cars, I think. Really unusual roof on this MGB here. We've seen this one before somewhere, possibly here last year. Morris 1100 from 1967. Little doggy in the back as well. Enjoying the ride in Isigonis' finest there. Of course, Isigonis also designed, well, he designed the pre-war special for hill climbing way back. Then he did the Morris Minor, which came out in 48. The Mini came out in 59. And these, the ADO 16, which was available as an Austin, the Morris, then there were the Wolseley and the Riley versions, and the Vanden Plas, and also the twin carburettor MG version. Harley's just off up there, taking a closer look at that lovely Magnet. So we'll carry on down here. We've got an Alpine, pretty cool car, one of the few moderns that I actually quite like. Another GT here, MGB GT, and then some moderns. So we'll go and have a look a little bit further down this line at some of the older cars pouring in here today to Weston Park. Mighty Vet. Rubber bumper MGB GT, nice to see one of those. It's a bit of a cool day today, but this is a little bit of a test of your cooling system. There's a Roadster with a factory hardtop on it. And the GT on wires, nice one, K-plate. Someone overtaking everyone else. Obviously in a bit of a hurry. VW Beetle. Morris Minor 1000, 1965, that one. What a beautiful looking little car that is. A 67, very modified MGB. I wonder what's going on with that. Exhaust poking out from under the sill there. Extractors, the air vents cut into the front wing, a bit like on a 250 GTO Ferrari. And a midget, I think that's the first midget we've seen today, the Midget 1500. We've got a V8 badged MGB Roadster here with added louvers in the bonnet, so I think we're looking at a Rover V8 power car there. Certainly sounds wonderful. A Rover 75. Right, so let's keep going down here. Austin A30. Wow, that's nice. POB 523. Complete with lovely wheel trims on it as well. What a bobby dazzler that is. And I like the little mud flaps on the back with reflectors attached to them. Isn't that lovely? 803cc. What a super little car. Morning, sir. Lovely little car.
Thank you. It's not 54 this one, it's 70 years old this year.
Yeah, wowzers. So what year did the 35 replace it then?
December 56.
Was it 56, was it? Oh, it's quite late then.
I've got one of the very last 56s.
Have you?
I-30, yeah.
Oh, brilliant. That's a
that's
lovely.
a hybrid.
Oh, is it?
Because they'd run out of parts on the production line. They
Oh.
waste anything.
Oh, got
So
it.
it's a mixture of A35
Oh.
and A30.
Oh, fantastic. No, it's lovely, that is.
Thank you.
Yes. Happy memories of A30 ownership for ourselves. Followed by a Morris 1000, VAB 591, and another Austin A30. Wow. Seen quite a few Austins here today. Disco. I'm not sure I fancy walking across this, so I think we'll walk around. Tramp Stag, beautiful car, Mark II Stag. VW. Morning. Is that 1303, I think, with a wraparound windscreen? Yes, 1303S. Yeah, called VW, rear engine of course. Got another X-Type Jaguar, and behind that an XK140. Very nice too, RSJ 264. What a bobby dazzler that is. Morning. Lovely. So what year is this one, sir?
1955.
55 is it? So these 3.4 are they? Is it 3.4 is it? That's beauty that is. I love the dashboard in these. Just stunning car. And it's got the wheel spats as well. Very, very nice car. I'll try not to get run over by anything. Got an Audi TT, another MG with passengers in the back. P38 Range Rover, another MGTF. There's quite a few of those here today. And talking of MGTFs, here's the original MGTF from the 1950s, a TF 1500. Got a Jaguar XJS. And we've got the V12 engine in this one. You can just see a little V badge in the middle of the grille. Very swish. Lovely car. 3-speed automatic, I think, in those. 5.3 litres. Let's keep going. Another Vauxhall Tigra. Morning. A little Corsa behind that. I remember Dad had one of those. Something diesel. Little van. Alfa Romeo. God, they're pouring in now. As far as the eye can see. So what do we have here then? Early 1970s. It's a Series 1 XJ. This is a Daimler version. Lovely car, probably a 4.2 I would have thought. Yeah, very nice too. 4.2 litre with tow bar. And we've got a Series 2 XJ here on a P plate. So this was the revised version of the Series 1. Nice colour, I like that. We've got the Mercedes SL. Skoda here, got an RS Turbo here, and a beautiful little Sunbeam Talbot Tourer here. What a cracker that is. Morning. Isn't that fantastic? That's a proper car to arrive in, that is. And wowzers, a 1964 Cadillac. I have to stand back for this one just to get it all in. Hope I don't walk in something inappropriate. Oh, yeah. So what year is that? 64, yeah. By that time, of course, the fins were a lot smaller than on, say, the 59 just a few years before. Lovely Beetle there. In fact, a brace of very, very tidy VW Beetles. Will we see any 4CVs here today? I wonder. We've seen rear engine V-dubs, we've seen rear engine Fiat. What else will we see? Another two Beetles here. And now what colour is this Rover P6? Is this tobacco? I've got a feeling this is called tobacco. This sort of brown colour. A 2200 TC, good morning. Very advanced car for the day they were. They were destined for gas turbine power. Got a Triumph TR6 there. A Tickford Capri, that's a rare old girl, that is. I remember a neighbour of ours had one of these when they first came out. It's on a C plate, that's about 1985 I would have thought. Wow, look at this. A mighty caddy. Incredible looking car. So what's that, a 59? What a lovely colour as well. I love the colour of that. A Coupe de Ville.
What I want to see is the old Escorts.
There'll be a few Escorts here, I think.
Oh, I love them, mate.
Next up, a car we've had in the past, an Austin A40 Somerset. Ooh, we've got a Merc. We're going to get flattened by a Mercedes. We don't want that. Yeah, super original Austin Somerset there. Lovely shade of green. Ours was like a beige colour. That was the replacement for the Austin A40 Devon. Very similar under the skin, same chassis and everything. These were column change, whereas the Devons were floor change. I thought it was going to be sunny today. Another XJ6 here, very nice too, the X300 XJ6. The Metro, nice one. Is that the Van den Plas? Looks like one of, yes it is. It's one of the posher versions of the Metro. Some of the moderns coming into the modern car park now, so I don't think we'll bother filming those. Here's something unusual, a TR8 convertible. And a Rover V8 engine, that's neat. I wonder if that's a factory built. It's left-hand drive. Yeah, that sounds proper. Look at this Marina, a little camper. Is that a Suntour? Yeah, very neat. TR250. The American spec version of the TR5 on carburetors as opposed to fuel injection. Morris Traveller burbles in, beautiful, very distinctive burble from that exhaust, tiny little pea shooter exhaust. TR4A, we've seen this one around at Crew Heritage and places like that. The Piggery Cafe, the Combomere meeting that we often go to. A-Class Mercedes, that's quite rare, and an early Focus. Let's keep going up here. Ooh, lots of lights on this Subaru Impreza. Got a TR4. Yeah, lots of moderns now pulling into the public car park, mixing it with some of the later arrivals destined for display in the main arena. Got an XK8 Coupe here. And another open top TR, headlights up, there we go. A TR7 ragtop. Morning. I suspect this is diesel powered. The Dorset Fire and Rescue Service. That's come a long way. The little TR4, very nice, 4-cylinder engine in those. This one's got the Surrey top on it with a lift out roof panel in the middle, so you've got the best of both worlds, a hard top for when it's tipping it down, and a bit of open top motoring when the sun comes out. I thought it was going to be sunny today, but so far not so much. And behind that, classic Range Rover. Check out the video I did recently where it shows a couple of these rallying over at Weston Park. That was quite a sight to see, two of these being driven on the door handles. That was the Generations Rally, if you want to look at that particular video. That featured all sorts of cars from the 20s right through to the 1980s. But amongst the surprises were two classic Range Rovers. The Citroen CX was a bit mad as well to see one of those going around. I think that had come over from Switzerland. Anyway, back to today, back to Weston Park. We've got a facelifted Jaguar S-Type there. Many, many moderns, but I spy in the distance. Well, I spy a few things. I see a lovely two-tone Herald and a beautiful Mercedes. Now, is that a minibus or is it a little van? I don't know, but I'm going to go and have a look now. And here is a lovely little two-tone Herald. These were brought in to replace the Standard 10 and the Pennant. Came out in 1959 originally. That's a 1200, that one. Initially they came out with a 948 engine lifted straight out of the Standard 10. Got an XK8 Cabrio there. Another TR250, a left-hand drive American car. Beautiful sound. The straight six Triumph engines, whether they're in the big saloons, the TR5s or the TR6s, just sound absolutely phenomenal. One of my favourite engines by far. We've got a Porsche Boxster there. A Wolseley Hornet on an F plate, so late 67, early 1968. Beautiful Mustang, the fastback Mustang. And here is that 60, what a beautiful old Mercedes. Look at that, that is fantastic. What a great little van that is. That, I've never seen that before. That is just beautiful. Let me know in the comments which of the vehicles featured here today at Weston Park you'd be taking home. Well, there's a VW Polo behind the Mercedes, and look at that 3 litre CSL. My goodness me, what a cracking bit of kit that is. Based on the E9 series BMW coupes of the early 1970s, the CSL L was for lightweight, so that was a contemporary of the E3 Saloon, but the E9 coupes were very special indeed. We'll have a proper look at that later. Got a Golf Cabriolet, a little Morris 8 Series 2 just over there, a little black car. They're pouring in now. Mark II Golf GTI, matching pair, an F plate, a Ford Anglia there on cosmic alloy wheels, a nice period option. We're getting into 2 lanes here, so I'll have to try and keep out of the way a little bit. The Morris Marina, that's like the Marina 2, slightly facelifted version of the Marina. Polo, and look at that, Fiat Gamine. A little noddy car there. Another air-cooled Beetle. Mercedes 2.5 16, the Cosworth engine car. Focus ST Mark II Cortina, 4-door Mark II Cortina. Just don't know what you're going to see next when you're stood here. Could be anything. VW Polo, don't know what that is. Really nice GTI in red, I like that. It's a very sharp looking car on Porsche wheels. And another one behind it. Another 3-door Golf GTI Mark II. Super clean pair of cars. They really do suit that red. Beautiful 16 valve. And there's that funny little Heimer camper. I'm just going to battle my way through the mud just to have a look at this incredible Heimer. Bit of Bedford CF going on at the front there, although it's Opel badged. But yeah, quite a sea of cars here, so we'll try not to get flattened. Yes. Yeah, what a bonkers camper that is. Hey! Let's keep going up here. I saw a lovely Bedford CA camper, one of the Martin Walter Dormobiles. That's a very clean Polo. And look at that, the Dormobile, nice one, that's fantastic. The lift up roof on it, the Bedford Romany. Yeah, very nice indeed. Metro and Capri alongside. The Bath 595, Triumph TR6, another straight 6 Triumph to enjoy the sound of. The melodious 2.5 litre, very nice too, in beautiful colour as well. We like our yellow. Another 2.8i there, lots of moderns hiding away. A very modified Clio, an S-Type Jaguar. Citroen 2CV, another Bobby Dazzler that is. Have we seen one of those yet today? I'm not sure. Wonder if we'll see any Citroen Dianes. Those seem to be even rarer than the 2CVs. Another Stag Mark II. Mark II's had those alloy wheels. The earlier cars had wheel trims on them, and the Mark II's also had those stainless covers along the sills. And if it's got the original 3 litre V8 Triumph engine. Wowzers. There's motorcycling in comfort. Is it motorcycling? Or it's not driving, is it? So you must ride those. Crazy. Sirocco. Volkswagen Sirocco there. Nice doggy there. Another Polo. I've seen a few early Polos here today. Let's battle our way over here. Try not to fall over. That would be embarrassing. Got a Chevrolet. Is that a day van? Or was it a van? I don't know. That's cool. A Series 3 Land Rover here. The long wheelbase. The 110 is that? Or 109? 110? Something like that. XJS in TWR livery. Who remembers those racing? Tom Walkinshaw Racing prepared the original race cars. There's a video on here somewhere of one of those running. If you've not seen that ancient video that I put up of a V12 XJS on open exhausts, look that one out when you're finished here. And how about this for contrast, a Camaro SS and a beautiful little Austin 7 box saloon DL9081. Morning. What a cracker that is. And this Isuzu Trooper. Renault Spider, Triumph Herald 1360 saloon, complete with boot rack. Lovely colour, that's the same colour as the Spitfire that I had back in the 1980s. At least when we found it, it was that colour, but it didn't stay that colour for long. Little van there, Escort van, Triumph TR3A. You can always tell the 3As as opposed to the 3s because of the outside door handles, and the grille is different as well. Mini on a G plate. Another red TR6 over there, looking very nice. And here's a beautiful Hillman Husky that we see at quite a few shows. This is a lovely thing. This is the estate version of the Hillman Minx, but that's the Husky, and that's a rare survivor now. Got a Mark II MX-5, an Escort there. Whew, can hardly keep up. Midget. Triumph Spitfire Mark III. It's a late Mark III with a different badging and to the black window surround. The early Mark IIIs didn't have that, and a beautiful Alpha Spider just rumbles past. But yeah, it's got the Triumph Tune exhaust on the back of the Spitfire there, sticking out those 2 pipes. Stag Mark II there. Mark II Escort Mexico. MGB Roadster. Got a Reliant Scimitar, the GTE. All the car drivers are probably keeping half an eye on their temperature gauges. It's not a hot day by any means. I thought it was meant to be quite sunny and nice today, but even so, queuing up for a little while to get in here can cause a few issues. It's certainly worth trying to get in a little bit earlier than normal. Got an E46 3 Series BMW Coupe and an Alvis. What's that, a TA21 alongside it, a drop head coupe. Very swish indeed. That's nice, I like that one. If you've not seen the video I did on the Alvis barn finds just a little while ago, mainly TD21s, check that one out. But that's a beautiful drop head coupe there. I'm not sure where my youthful assistant has disappeared to, but I think he'll probably be at the top of the hill somewhere over there. Anyway, let's keep going down towards the entrance. We are getting quite a few moderns here now, so I'll have to try and cut those out. Another beautiful Citroen 2CV, this one in red. I've got a battery flashing light, so I'm going to have to switch off for a moment. Corvette Stingray. Roof panels removed. Morning. Sounding very, very purposeful indeed. Fiberglass bodied these were. In many ways the American rival to the Jaguar XKE, the E-Type. According to the plates on the back, that's a 1973 on an L plate. Right, let's just go down here. Still see quite a few oldies mixed in with the moderns parking up in the public car park. We've got a Triumph Dolomite here, nice to see one of those. That russet brown. And an E21 era BMW 3 Series, this is an Alpina. Very, very smart looking car. Quite groovy. You can tell it's one of the higher spec models because it's got the headlamp wipers on it. The highest spec car that BMW sold, I think, at the time of this era of E21 was a 323i, I think, with the two headlights either side. And this is the Alpina tuned version. Really lovely car. That is the C1, the 2.3 litre. What have we got here? I'm not quite sure what this is. Toyota of some description, a Camry. Let's go down here and we've got a Mini Mark 1, the Morris Mini Minor. That's a nice one. What are those wheels? Are they the Dunlop wheels? I think they are. A Granada, the Mighty Granada. I saw one of those getting a little bit stuck before. The Boxster. And in the distance I can see a VW Beetle and a standard Vanguard. I think a Vanguard Estate. Great little Beetle pulls into view. Lovely estate car version of the standard Vanguard there. Technically that's the estate car version of the Vanguard Vignale, the revised version of the Phase 3 Vanguard. Beauty that is. Some of those have the 6-cylinder engine in as well. Yeah, lovely car, really practical classic that one. Good to see a few standards here today in the mighty Rover 3.5. The Riley Rover P5B Saloon. And over here, late 67, early 1968, Sunbeam Alpine. Like I said before, we'll have a walk around the cars once they're parked up a little bit later, but I thought we'll just get some of them driving in because it's nice to see some of these old cars driving under their own steam, I think. So that was Roots Group's rival, if you like, to the MGB Roadster, that kind of thing. And of course the Triumph TR. Slightly modified MGB GT there. That would have been a rubber bumper car at one time. It's on an X plate. That's a really late example. Very distinctive sound from that B Series 1800 engine. And a GMC, another MGB behind that. A little Spridget behind that. A little MG Midget. And that bright lime green colour. Maybe a future classic there, who knows? The Chrysler 300C. The Opel Monza GSE. If you saw the video I put together of the NEC, you'll have seen one of those, much dismantled. I can hear a Mini. Straight cut gears in the Mini. And amidst all the modern flotsam, we have another beautiful Citroen. I think that's a heavy 15 as opposed to the light 15. That's the Traction Levant. That's the longer, larger version. What a treat to see that beauty here today. Toyota Celica. It's a 2005, so that's nearly 20 years old, but still a pretty sharp looking car, I think. And it's in our favourite colour for little Japanese sports cars, bright yellow. A little combo van, a Vauxhall. Sierra, Sapphire Cosworth. Just spot another Triumph TR in the distance. Got a little Peugeot 106 there. Yeah, 64 Triumph, just coming down the outside. We have a trio of classic Triumph TRs heading in. One waiting for the others here, so that they all pull in together. So we've got a 64 TR4 in the foreground, and we'll wait to see what we have in the background. It would appear that the organiser's Mercedes is getting a little bit stuck over there. Let's concentrate on these beautiful Triumph TRs. See a Lancia Fulvia, little front wheel drive V4 powered Lancia Fulvia there, very, very nice. We've got an air-cooled Porsche here. I'm guessing we're looking at a 912. Yep. So that's the 4-cylinder air-cooled car. Great little car there, 1967 that one. What a pure design that is. No unnecessary fluff or ornamentation, just a beautiful, crisp, clean shape. Definitely one of my favourite eras of the air-cooled 912s and 911s. Little Peugeot 205 Rally, that's quite a rare sight. Probably rarer than the 205 GTIs now. It is mostly moderns coming in now, so obviously we're not interested in those. A sea of modern mediocrity, but every now and again you spot something interesting, so I'll just persist up this end for a little while, just in the hope that something interesting is still queuing to get in today here at Weston Park. You can see a little kit car there based on the Citroen 2CV. We just get out of the way of all these moderns. There we go, look at that. Is that a Lomax? That's a bonny little car. So a 2CV drivetrain in the front of that. TR6, the V8 Jaguar, the XJ8 Saloon, and a 911 Targa with a lift-out roof panel, left-hand drive, a 911S to be precise. Another XJ there, 2200 TC, a very original looking Rover 2200, so it's got the 2.2 litre, the 4-cylinder engine, a slightly larger version of the Rover 2000 engine. Two-tone Rover P4 there, the 105S. It's like being stood at the line at the start of a Grand Prix. It's a bit manic up this end of the driveway. Like I say, it's mostly modern, largely very tedious vehicles pulling in. So I can see a nice Land Rover Series 3 over the back, the TVR. Yeah, there's still the odd interesting car. Mini Subaru Impreza over the back there. Great TVR, is that the 350? Mark III Ford Cortina, 4-door saloon. We saw that pickup version before from a distance, the Baccy. Nice Volvo Coupe. So that's the C70. What's this, a V70? The Estate. We used to have one of those. Really good cars there. So that's the V70R, the souped up one. Quite a vibrant colour, these two. Cortina TVR. There's a little Nissan S Cargo, a little van there, just over the way. Just walk through here briefly. Look at that. S Cargo being a play on words because it looked a little bit like the 2CV, which was nicknamed the Snail, S Cargo. So there was a tenuous reason for the S Cargo name, and of course cargo for carrying things. And we've got a Saab 900, a 5-door 900 hatch, 900 SE, classic Saab 900 based on the 99 that came before it. The back end was very similar to the 99 Combi, this bit, but the front on the 900 was much longer. Look how curved that windscreen is as well. Again, we used to have one of these a few years ago. Yeah, quite a cool car, that. Not the prettiest perhaps, but certainly quite cool and interesting. And actually we have still got quite a few interesting things coming in. We've got a Triumph motorcycle over there. Mark 1 Escort, a left-hand drive Mark 1 Escort. Always like a bit of British bike goodness.
Yeah, okay.
It's all quite exciting up here. Oh, hello. I didn't see you there, did I? Hello. Hello. Oh, you're a sweetie, aren't you? Hey? Oh, you are nice, aren't you? Yes, you are. Oh, very nice. You watching all these cars coming in, are you? Hey? Are you watching all these cars? Hey? Do you shake a paw? Can you shake a paw? Oh, you can shake a paw. Good dog. What a good doggy you are. Hey? What a good doggy you are. You stay there. Right. Bright red Mini. Modern Minis. Oh, Maestro. Another Maestro. And a Dodge pickup behind that. And in the distance, a beautiful vintage Tourer. Looks like a Humber. That's good, isn't it? A Dodge pickup, Iowa State Fair. That's leather life. Got a modern Morgan with suitable headgear. I'm sure they all come supplied with woolly hats. And a beautiful Humber. It's been converted to modern LED lamps, but it'll only take 5 minutes to put them back to the originals. But what a beauty otherwise. Classic Humber. Nice to see a few pre-war cars here today. A wartime Jeep, the old Willis Jeep behind. A little Fiat Cinquecento here. Very similar to that Lancia Y10 that we saw at the NEC just a few days ago. Yeah, great little cars. These are the sort of cars we should be making more and more of, not fewer and fewer of. Perfect for driving around, and you'd reduce congestion in a heartbeat if more of us drove cars that kind of size. There's that great Jeep just behind. Might be needing those spades later. The Vauxhall Nova, one of the saloon versions of the Vauxhall Nova, two-door car. Quite a rare sight now. The Mark II MX-5 behind that. No, I tell a lie. That is a Mark III MX-5. You like a bit of attention, don't you? Eh? Oh, you're very soft, aren't you? Are you watching all these cars coming in? You like your paw being shaken, don't you? Yes, you do. You do, don't you? Are you watching your owner? Are you watching your owner, keeping an eye on them? Eh? Yeah, you're a friendly chap, aren't you? Right. Okay. Right. Bye-bye. Right. What else have we got? We've got a little van. I see an Austin or a Morris half-ton van down here. Don't want to miss out on that. Light commercials are good news. There's that great little Nova. What a clean car that is. Kind of spiritual successor to the little booted versions of the Chevette, perhaps. That's quite a rare car now. All sorts of performance cars making their way in, but look at this beautiful little Austin half-ton van. That's a cracker, isn't it? Yeah, that's very neat, that is. I like that. Styled very similar to the early Cambridges of the 1950s, the A55 Cambridge, before the Farina designs came along. And when the Farina saloons came in, they carried on producing these pre-Farina style vans for quite some time. I mean, this one's on an F plate, so we're well into Farina era Cambridges and Oxfords, but the commercials, the vans and the pickups, and indeed the campers that were based on the vans, stuck with this much older design for many, many years, right through until the early 1970s. Yeah, why change something that works? And I love the wheel trims on it as well. The Austin full width hubcaps. They've got to be pretty rare now. Yeah, what a great little van that is. Could do one of those as an OCC Works van. Something like that would be perfect. Behind that, a super clean example of the chrome bumper MGB Roadster, mixing it with the modern. And over there, being pursued by an MGA Roadster, we have a Morris 8 Series E. A two-tone Series E Morris 8 918cc side valve engine that would go on to donate its running gear to the Isigonis era Morris Minor of 1948. These were built either side of the Second World War. This is a two-door saloon. You also had four-door saloons and also Tourers. Yeah, it's a great little car that is, and that's got the headlamp, the Lucas headlamp conversion on it. Originally it would have had quite slopey headlights on the front, the old 6-volt lamps, but it was quite common to buy one of these pods to put on the front of your wings, and you could convert to 7-inch circular Lucas lamps, and that's what we're looking at there. There's an MGA Roadster, very, very sharp looking MGA Roadster with the roof up, and who can blame them on a slightly chilly day like this. I did see something else driving in before which looked interesting, but I think it was in one of the further lanes, so we may have missed that. Not to worry, we will have a walk around the static display cars just a little bit later. Ooh, we've got another yellow MX-5 coming in, great news. Right, we've got Escort Estate, 205 GTI, Triumph TR6, bright red, and the mighty Mercedes S-Class of the 1970s. What a cracking car that is, real quality, proper Mercedes-Benz quality. Fantastic. That's a 280S, so that would have the 2.8 litre straight 6 engine under its bonnet. Quite a few different versions of these were built, some with V8s, some with straight 6s, but all beautifully put together, and I could be very tempted with one of those one day. I think as it's getting a bit quieter here up at the main entrance, we'll start sauntering back in the general direction of the show field, go and have a cup of coffee, try and warm up a little bit, and then have a look at some of the displayed cars. Right, bye bye you've been very good. Right, oops, try and not get flattened by the Panzerwagen. Beautiful Merc. What a great car that is. TR6 is particularly burbly. Ooh, what do we have here? Lotus Cortina perhaps? Certainly looks like one. One of the Aeroflow cars. A friend of ours has got his early Mark 1 Lotus Cortina here today, so this will be great to see this parked nearby, hopefully. What a fantastic car that is. Shades of Jim Clark and others racing these cars in the 1960s. Great Lotus twin cam engine in those Cortinas. It's pursued by a classic Range Rover, the Vogue SE. There's many other things, including in the distance the MGA Roadster. Yeah, definitely a bit boggy in places. Mighty Granada limousine. Is that a Coleman Milne converted car, I wonder? I spy a Sunbeam Rapier, or is it the Alpine? Let's go have a closer look. I've got a feeling the Rapier had a black panel between the rear side windows and the Alpine did not, but I'm not too well up on my 60s 70s Roots Group model, so I might have to go and have a closer look at that one just to be sure what it is we're looking at there. But either way, it's a pretty rare car now. It is a Rapier, very nice too. Super cool Rapier there. Well, we're back on the main display field now, past the little Fiat Gamine and the mighty, massive Ferguson. Bit of information here, so by all means pause the video and have a read of that. V8 powered MF 1150. That's quite the engine, that is, isn't it? CSL. Yeah, we'll have a proper look around. Ooh, the Granada limos getting a little bit stuck. We saw the diesel saloon version of that era Granada having a few problems further up the field before. And clearly big rear wheel drive cars aren't enjoying some of the ground here today. There's another lovely little MGA Roadster there. Right, let's carry on up here and head in the direction of the car where hopefully I'll meet up with my youthful assistant. I'll go and grab something to drink and maybe a coat. Yeah, there's quite a few people here and probably more cars displaying than I expected. We've got a Wolseley Hornet for sale. There you go, if you fancy a slightly modified Wolseley Hornet with a 1.3 Micra engine in it. Heavens. It's quite the modification there to get that into it. You'd never think there'd be room for that, but somehow it's in there. It's definitely shoehorned in, that one. Yeah, so let's go and find where we're parked. We're at the top end of the field. Yeah, there are quite a few classics parked over there now, including that beautiful Simca that we saw driving in before. In fact, let's go and have a quick look at that. We'll get out of the way of the Granada. He's going for momentum and speed. Keep it moving. Yeah, don't back off. There's that beautiful Simca. What a great looking car that is. Some lovely detail on this Simca Aronde Coupe. Just look at the shape of those back lights. There's a strong smell of burning clutch in the air. And those wheel trims. What an interesting car. Look at the overlap there to get rid of wind noise. The door glass overlaps significantly with the rear fixed pane of glass. You can just see through the window there. What a beauty that is. Le Plein Ciel. Is that clear sky? I'm sure Ciel is sky in French. What a fantastic looking car that is. Such an elegant front. Even these mirrors are super stylish. Look at those. Oh, that's a lovely looking car that is. Hints of miniature T-Bird, early T-Bird in the front of that one. And the roof line. Now the two Lotus Cortinas are parked together. But the roof line reminds me a great deal of the Facel Vega. If you look up a photo of a Facel Vega, you'll see the roof. It's a very similar shape to that, and with this huge wraparound windscreen as well. So yeah, that really is a treat to see that one here today. But anyway, I doff my hat to anyone who came out today. It's not the warmest of days, and the weather leading up to today has been less than perfect. So hats off to everyone who's come out here today to support this event. I wonder if that's where it came in from. What a great looking little car that is. Well, definitely some interesting things here today, a few comparisons to be made, such as with this XJ Series 2 and the Series 1 alongside it, so we'll have a look at those a bit later. Another Mark 1 Cortina this time. The GT, the Consul GT, a Consul badged Cortina, so that's a fairly early one. That would look good parked next to those two Lotuses. But there are other Fords further up the field as well, so maybe that's where it's heading, but I hope it gets there. This is a 2-day show. This is day 1, and tomorrow they're threatening rain. Of course, one advantage of bringing this one to shows is that Harley can't go buying anything too big. Well, refueled with coffee, so I guess the sensible place to start is probably here at the top end of the field. I'll keep moving myself because I don't want to end up pointing heavenwards. So let's go and have a look around here. I've got various performance cars, the Mercedes SLK there, very nice condition, a couple of Mitsubishis, and here Granadas, the mighty Ford Granadas. We've got a Granada gear on the end here with an 83 tax disc in the window. The gear, of course, used to be a coach building company in its own right before Ford bought them out in whenever it was. And who remembers Green Shield stamps? This is this rare diesel powered. Yeah, you can see we've had a few traction issues getting in, but hopefully it'll dry off a bit today. There is a breeze across the field. A 2.1 DL. Keys in the back. It's easily done. And the 2.9i Granada, the later Granada here. Just work our way along the row here past this Capri, the Ford Mondeo, later Mondeo, Mark 1 Ford Fiesta there, late 1970s, very neat looking little car, the first of the Fiestas. If you haven't seen the NEC compilation that I put together only a week ago, have a look at that, because there's a rare Healy modified Ford Fiesta Mark 1 in there. And that's a car I'd never seen or heard of before. Okay, let's carry on. Granada Estate, showing off its V6 engine there. Lovely jubbly. There's the limousine we saw driving in just a few minutes ago. The Golf Mark 3 Cabriolet. Sierra Sapphire, the booted version of the Sierra Mark 1 Escort here. Let's keep going, make sure we don't miss any of the rarities, including this Mazda. Now, I was guessing it's maybe a 929. Was it 626? I'm not quite sure. I've not seen anything like this for a while. Yes, it is the 929. I was right. What a rare classic wagon that is. And look at those Mazda mud flaps. It's quite cool to see that. But what a great car. Well, in great condition as well. Proper rarity that is. Early 1980s registration. Isn't that amazing? That would be a very tricky car to restore if you were missing bits. So I imagine trim parts for these, inside and out, must be virtually unobtainable now. Let's carry on along here past the Cavalier, the Vectra there, so let's have a look for some of the older cars here. Quite a gaggle of classic Fords here, Capris, Escorts, got an MX-5 here, a little Fury, a kit car, Jaguar, and a Stag looking magnificent near the building over there. Looks very in keeping. Wonder if that's hard standing up there. There's quite a few cars over here, including that pretty wild looking 65 Beetle, presumably on air suspension, looking very, very low. A Coca-Cola container there. Yeah, all the period accessories going on here. That's pretty groovy. Got a Merc alongside that. There's that fantastic standard estate. We do like a classic standard. We saw that one driving them before. I'm a big fan of those. There's that P5B that followed it in. And we just caught a glimpse of this escort van as it drove in too. Right, so we'll carry on over here. I'll try and feature as many of the cars as I can, but obviously some of them I'm bound to miss out, so if I miss yours out, apologies for that. It wasn't intentional. Here's that debumpered, very late registered MGB GT, complete with wicker picnic basket. Hopefully Dad will be back out and about in his MGB GT very, very soon. His NEOP recovery seems to be going well. He's keeping up with his exercises, that's all very good. Super clean Polo, very crisp looking cars there. Let's carry on down here past the Merc, the 190E, the Cosworth 2.5 16, a little Rover 45. It's not a 45, no, it's a 25, it's the hatchback, isn't it? Mark 3 Golf, Mark 2 Golfs. A bit of everything down here. A super clean engine bay on this Golf GTI. Yeah. Great little V-dub. Polos. Let's keep going down here past the slightly mad Renault Clio. Look at that mighty Merc on the end here. And again, there's a smell of hot clutch in the air. The auto jumble area I've not even been to. Ollie's already been round there, so there's probably no point me even visiting it now. He'll have scooped up all the bargains. And this is that 280S Mercedes S-Class. Can't really see in through the window, but yeah, beautifully made cars these are. They go forever pretty much. And we'll carry on this way, I think, past the 2.5 DSE, the diesel version of the Range Rover P38. Got a powder blue MGB Roadster with blue soft top, which looks very nice indeed. Got the Lancia Fulvia, the V4.
I kept to my words.
Very nice too, another P38. Roadster with roof down, being guarded here. Some cool shades going on there. Audi TT, I love the shape of these. There's that 140 that we spoke to the owner briefly as he was coming in before. Got the X-Type. The 1303S Beetle with a wraparound screen. The car over the back there, similar, fairly late, but not quite as late as this one, I think. And the blue Triumph Stag on an S-plate, and a Cortina estate. Lots of classic Fords here today. A whole gaggle of Capris there. Saw most of those driving in, I think. But the estates never seem to survive as well as the saloons. I'm guessing the saloons sold in far greater numbers as well. Yeah, really clean example of the Mark V Cortina wagon. As there's such a huge turnout of Capris here today, we'll have a quick whiz along here. Just feature as many of them as we can. Work in progress here. Nice early one here. 3 litre V6. A laser, but it's engine running. There's that 280 of Brooklyn's last of the line classic Capris, the Camaro over here. In fact, this appears to be American Corner here today at Weston Park on Easter Sunday 2024. So let's have a quick wander around here. There's that mighty 64 Cadillac 4-door sedan. What an amazing looking car that is. These Camaros are pretty groovy as well, the Camaro SS. I do like the shape of those. Really cool looking car that is. Notchback Mustang here on an F plate. All sorts of eras of American cars. The mighty Lincoln Continental. It's not easy being green. Yeah, Greta would approve of that one. The Continental Mark IV, what a beast. No traction control on these, I suspect, other than your right foot. Bit of classic truck engine action here. Chevrolet 3100s. I assume they're 3100s, half tons. Let's have a look. Short bed. Super original. Well, I say original bodies, but the running gear, those wheels aren't original, so clearly, hello madam, really lend themselves to a bit of mild modification, these classic pickups. Look at this on the front. Great stuff. Pontiac Bonneville over here. 66 plate. A T-Bird, Thunderbird from 1969, and I never realised they had rear hinge doors at the back. Just like the modern Rolls Royces. Oh, I never realised that. Apologies for reflections. Let's carry on round here. The mighty 59 Cadillac. What an incredible car! Just look at the not a ripple in sight. What an incredible car that is. That's just an amazing thing, isn't it? I dread to think what the rechroming bill would be on something like this. Air conditioner there.
You see no milk? No milk today. No.
There's a TVR with a Speed 6 engine. That's TVR's own straight 6. Also, so many years TVR relied on the old Rover V8, 3.5 litre. But in later years they did build their own engines, and there's an example. I think they were also fitted in the Cerberus, weren't they? Yeah. Pretty wild looking car. Hopefully TVR will be reborn at some point. There's a lot of talk of it, but it seems to be mainly talk. Hopefully it'll come back from the grave. Go past this Audi, V8 Audi, no less. And the whole gaggle of Morris miners and Morris commercials here. We've got a Forestry Commission van here, looking pretty immaculate. It's good to see it with its proper commercial bonnet on as well, that doesn't have the strips down here, because of course in moggy saloons, like the Traveller over there, they have those strips down the side of the bonnet. The commercials, the vans and the pickups, they're plain on the side there, so that's good to see it's got the right ones on there. Usually slightly wider steel wheels as well on the vans and the pickups compared to the saloons. Yeah, that's a real minter, that one. And the strip is the same as the old Morris Minor MMs, the pre-Series 2 Morrises. the commercials also featured that strip without the pointy forward bits and the little M for Morris, which you can see on this immaculate Traveller alongside. Yeah, so lots of detail differences, and of course under the skin these two cars are very, very different. Same engine, but the vans and the pickups have a big separate, well I say big, there's a separate chassis, so you can lift the cab and the rear body off the chassis, and quite often you have to because they are a bit prone to rusting, whereas these are sort of monocoque, and the wood on the back of the Traveller is structural as well, just for added excitement. But yeah, the regular Moggy saloons and Morris Minor saloons, they're monocoque construction. They don't have the separate chassis of the vans and the pickups. Talking of pickups, here is one here, bright white example, quite a late one on a J plate, must be one of the very last. The little Traveller over there being guarded by the faithful hound. Let's carry on down here. Got some later sort of modern classics, future classics along here. Got an E36 3 Series compact, a little hatchback version of the 3 Series. We can have a look at that. The 316i. The 5 Series BMW here. Yeah. Very, very nice. The E28 5 Series Beamer, 1985. Really, really cool car that is. Looks like an M5, certainly badged up that way. There was also the M535i, which had the 3.5 litre straight 6 in it, and a dogleg gearbox as well, the M535i, and I think these did as well. But yeah, really nice to see those. I've not been along there yet, have I? Let's have a look. So 318i, another E30, 3 Series there, 2-door, very, very sharp, clean lines, very nice. Z4, the E39 era 5 Series here. Of course the badges on the back at this point in time still denoted the engine size, so the 530 would have the 3 litre straight 6 in it. I've got an 8 Series coupe, the 840 with a V8, 4 litre V8, and there was the 850 as well with a V12 in it. You don't see either of them all that often now. Let's have a look over here. We've got the Jensen Healey, lovely 1970s alloy wheels, quite a cool car. The Jensen Healey, yeah, nice looking machine. And those wheels are fab, they look almost Italian, those wheels, really, really stylish. Let's carry on down here. I'm not sure where I'm going at the moment. Got a 7 Series here, an E38 7 Series BMW. We have some more future classics down here, but I can see, not quite sure where I'm going. Let's carry on over here, see what we can see past the Audi. Is that an 80 or a 90? It's debadged, but we'll go with 80. Many, many MGs. There's that lovely magnet on the end. Many, many badges. I think we'll have to inspect those. Lovely jubbly. There's that Roadster with a very unusual hardtop on it. Most of these we saw driving in before, I think. That's a lovely green, that is that Roadster, isn't it? Chrome bumper. All sorts of things.
A complete found in a field.
What, this one?
Yeah,
Oh, right.
complete new build from nothing.
Was it?
Never been driven since 2013.
Oh, right.
So it's
Is that where you found it, in the field, was it?
yeah, and a guy, a local garage said he'd build it for me, and he started in 2022, and he said he'd finish it in a year. So then we got to June 23, and I thought I'd have it then. So I've just got it now.
Oh, right. So
So
you're just putting a few miles on it now, are you?
yes, it's only done 32,000 miles from brand
right.
new.
Grief.
And the guy who had it before that was a retired chap who was about to retire, and he bought the car as a project.
Oh, right.
And then he got a promotion,
Yeah.
and he went down south, so he had to sell it. But in the meantime, he had it stuck outside his house in the rain and all the weather.
Ooh, that doesn't do very
from
good.
2013 onwards,
Yeah.
and all the back end completely collapsed and rotted.
Oh dear.
And so it's had new wings, it's had all welded, complete new welding underneath, but the engine's really good.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of getting the inside sorted now, and
Yeah.
then we'll be
Splendid.
okay.
Yeah, great to see it out and about here today. Got a few MGBs, MG midgets, and here in the middle, a two-door Morris 1000. This is the 65 Moggy Saloon that we saw driving in before. What a super clean car that is. I like the Repro 1965 tax disc in the window. Nice little detail. The South Staffordshire MG Owners Club. There you go. Meet every second and fourth Wednesday of the month at the Pelsall Social Club. There you go. So if you've got a Moggy and you live in that area, get yourself down there. But yeah, really nice to see that one. Now, where haven't we been? Let's carry on over here. Like I say, we've seen most of these MGs when they were coming in. Lovely GT here, I do like those wheels. Let's carry on down here past the Fiesta and the Vauxhall Tigra and the Micra. And this beautiful Vauxhall Victor, the FD series Vauxhall Victor with period Wolf Race alloy wheels on it, giving it the real 70s look and those two-tone effect on the bonnet. Extra lamps on the front. What a cracker that is. We've seen this one here before, I think. I think this featured as a thumbnail on one of the videos, possibly from a year or two back. Yeah, super clean car, that one. What have we got along here? Next to the Focus drop top. A Mark II Escort. Oh, this is that one we saw coming in before. The XK8 Jaguar Coupe. There's a 6-cylinder XJ, the X300 series. Right, let's carry on down here past the A35 that we saw driving in. There's that Mark II Cavalier now with the roof up. And yeah, it's not such a bad plan putting the roof up on a day like this. And there's that beautiful Daimler. Isn't that just a quality car? Really, really nice. Good to see it on its original registration and the original Ace number plate. I'm sure my youthful assistant will have already picked up on the original plates. He tends to notice these things. The improved Daimler Conquest Saloon has 4 inches more rear seat leg space. Yeah, super comfy in there. Very nice. There's the pre-selector lever just on the side of the steering column there. Pre-selected because you select the gear you want before you need it. So if you're in, say, third gear and approaching a corner, and you put it into second, but you only actually engage the gear when you press the left hand pedal on the floor, where a clutch pedal would usually be on a normal manual car. So it gives you a chance to pick the gear you need before the corner comes up, and then you've got both hands on the wheel to deal with steering and other important matters like that without having to faff around changing gear with a floor change. So yeah, quite a nice setup in these cars. Lovely Daimler Conquest. Really smart car indeed. So let's carry on along here past that magnificent fluted radiator grille. We've got an MG ZR over here, 2002, that registration number. A little Rover 25. And this magnificent Rover P2 drop head coupe. What have we got here? 1939 Rover 16 drop head coupe. Salmons and Sons, they were responsible for that beautiful barn find Rover that I photographed extensively at the NEC just last weekend. That was a beautiful car, as is this. That one was a bit of a barn find, very original. This one is in beautifully restored condition. 2-door drop head coupe. What a stunning car that is. Really beautiful bit of kit that. And it's great to see these pre-war cars here today. Alongside that we've got another Rover saloon. This is a sports saloon. It's the Rover 75, so that That is the P2 pre-war. I think this is the P3 post-war on the solid disc wheels as opposed to the spoked wheels of the slightly earlier cars, but visually very, very similar. The Sport Saloon, because they've got a lower roofline compared to your regular Rover P2s and P3 saloons. The regular saloons slightly higher roofline, and they have an extra window in here, so 6 light, where these are 4 light, i.e. 2 windows down either side. So that's the Sports Saloon, a little bit sleeker than your regular saloons, but very similar under the skin otherwise. Yeah, what a great pair of early Rovers we have there. And here, another beautiful, slightly earlier still Rover. Lovely, lovely car. I don't know if I've got one of those hanging up in the garage. So now I know what it's off. This, I think, is the what's so-called P1 series Rover Saloon. And again, it's a sports saloon with just the 2 windows either side. Very handsome motor cars. What year would that be? About 1934, 1935, somewhere around there, I would have thought. What a great lineup of properly old Rovers. That's just wonderful. Wonder what date the tax disc is. That's a 34 tax disc there. So there we go. Pretty sure I did guess at 34 or 35, so I don't think I'm too far out. There's the cover for the starting handle just there. So if your battery's a bit weak, as long as you've got enough in the battery to give you a spark, you can turn it over on the handle, and the chances are you would get it running. Okay, let's carry on past the MG ZTT, the MG Tourer, the estate version of the Rover 75, and there's that Cyclops Rover P4 that we saw coming in before. Very, very nice, very rare car, very original looking car as well. AFL 606, really nice car. Again, all the P4s had these rear hinge doors at the back, just like that T-Bird that we were looking at before. Yeah, very nice indeed. Not seen a youthful assistant for a while. Wonder where he's gone. And then the facelifted P6s, the 2200 SC single carburettor, or you could have the TC, guess what, twin carburettor. Series 2 Land Rover here. Very nice indeed. Series 3s here as well, a pair of those. And on the end, that tobacco brown 2.2 TC. Oh, so I think this is the next row, headed by the booted 2-door Vauxhall Nova. Great to see that one here. Have a stroll along here. The Granada, Focus on the 911. Here is that really nice 4-door Cortina, the Mark 1 Ford Cortina on a C plate, so 1965. Quite a few Mark 1 Cortinas here today, actually.
I used to like the Novas.
Another Nova, good heavens. This time a 5-door hatch. Yeah, great to see those. Extremely brown Austin Allegro. Excellent stuff. Unusual wheels, I've not seen those before. The Mini Cooper S 67. Mondeo. The Morris, this one on Minolite style wheels, the Moggy 1000. Granada, bonnet raised. A little Fiat 600 on a B registration. So that'll be 1964. And the MG Magnet SSC 555. What a beautiful car that is. I think I spy a history sheet, so we'll have to go and have a quick shufty at that. Built July 1958. So that's interesting. So this is actually a vari tone, the big back window, but it was specified in all over black. Often the varitones were sort of cream and maroon, that kind of thing. And this is black and black. That's great. Look at that mascot. Nice detail. There's the mighty Riley RM. Post-war car, 1950s, very much pre-war in construction. Oh, greetings. I wonder where you'd gone.
I finished.
Have you, you finished?
Yeah.
Good grief.
Where have you been?
I've just done that top bit and this bit here.
Oh no.
Yes, afraid so.
They're the Rovers.
Yes, I've done the Rovers.
Is it a P1 or P2, the one in the middle?
The P1 is the earliest one.
Yeah, that's a really lovely car, that blue and black one.
Yeah,
That's what I mean.
the one behind the sign, behind the banner.
Really lovely car.
Yeah, I was just looking at that, 1934.
One
I
with
think.
a narrow grille.
Yeah,
That's really nice.
yeah,
I do
it is
like
lovely, isn't it? How about the Riley RMs?
that. Is it a
Quite like this.
1.5 or a 2?
It's a 1.5. It's got the dark blue badge.
Yeah,
Tells you
I thought it
1.5. If it's
Nice.
pale blue, it'll be the 2.5. Yeah, I was just about to say post-war car, but very much pre-war in construction. A lot of ash in the body.
Yeah.
The roof is of a sort of
Yeah.
composite of padding and mesh and all sorts of
I
things.
did a bit of an interview with the owner of a Sunbeam Talbot.
Did you? Oh, the Tourer.
Yeah, and that's ash frame, of course. He
Yeah.
was talking about how he restored the ash frame.
Oh,
and stuff.
blimey. Yeah.
I told him we had a Talbot 3 litre as well.
Yes. Oh, yeah, we did. And there's that Lotus Elan Plus 2.
That's an MX-5.
Oh, an MX-5 arrives.
Unos.
Is it a Unos? Yeah, it's an import. Basically, an MX-5. There's that Jensen FF. So at first glance, looks very much like the Jensen Interceptor, but slightly longer front. You've got 2 sets of slats in the front wings, whereas the Interceptor just has 1 set. And the front end is a bit squarer as well. So if you parked an FF and an Interceptor alongside each other, you would see the differences. But when they're just parked...
Would it make it heavier?
Well, the car's heavier, full stop,
Yeah, I
with that
suppose, yeah.
Ferguson Formula 4-wheel drive.
So it'd probably be slower, wouldn't it?
I don't know.
I'm just trying to think
not
what's
sure.
the actual point
There's
of
that.
making it 4-wheel drive.
It's just, just gives it greater traction, I suppose, doesn't it?
Yeah.
There's that great little Lanchester we were looking at a little while ago,
5, this one is.
and the Bergerac style Triumph Roadster on the end here. And like that A40 that we saw driving in before, it's got the great little No-Tech blue spot lamps.
That's it, No-Tech.
Yeah, No-Tech is the
I
make.
said they were Y-Pack.
Y-Pack? Good heavens, man. Back to the classroom. Back to the classroom for you, sunshine. Yes, no, the No-Tech, N-O-T-E-K.
I know, because you've got loads of them.
I've got some of those, yeah, and it's cast in. Look, if you look here, it's actually cast in.
That's poor for me, that.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to mark you down on that one, I'm afraid. You might have to sit out the rest of the show, I'm afraid, for that.
How many hours are you into your video already?
I don't know. Several batteries. Have you?
It's desperate, it's just desperate. Yeah, get me some more bombers and I'll win. But what in a way is even more desperate.
More Americans over here. We've got the Chevrolet Camaro and this pretty groovy looking Dodge here. What a thing that is. That's quite a machine. It's a fastback Charger. It is, yeah.
Charger tonight.
No, I didn't.
It's got the Charger front on it.
Yeah. Various Mustangs dotted around.
And the boy belted past us with a boy.
A Stingray heading into the arena. I wanted to have a look at this Dodge. What an incredible car that is. What pickup truck that is. I bet this could tell a story or two. There's a nice early 2CV over there. You see that one? The grey one? Didn't see that coming in.
See this Fiat here?
Yeah, the little Gamine noddy car. Pretty wild, isn't it?
If you're wandering around the park, could you please come up to the 3A desk and see me?
Let's carry on over the bridge here, back into the main display area. You want to go on the Easter egg hunt, do you? No, I don't think we'll do the Easter egg hunt today. But tempting as it is, you've got enough Easter eggs, I think. Quite a few cars have headed into the arena. There's this sports cars section, isn't it? So we've got MGs. That's lovely Simca. Oh, the window's open now, so we can have a bit of a clearer look at the dash.
It's a nice colour, isn't it?
Yeah. It's one of my cars of the show, that is. Yeah. Great looking little MGA Roadster here. There's the 2CV based kit car we saw coming in before. I think this is probably a Lomax. We've got the air cooled Citroen engine hung out the front there. The Volvo P1800S. One of the early cars with a cow horn, the so-called cow horn type front bumpers on it. The way they sort of come up like that, the later ones didn't do that. These early cars, the bodies were actually built by Jensen and shipped to Volvo in Gothenburg. But I think there were some quality issues with the Jensen bodies, so eventually Volvo brought in production of the body back home. This is an early Jensen bodied car. There's a Renault Spider behind that. We've got a Reliant Scimitar SS1, the little white car with the bonnet up over there. There's that TVR we saw with the Speed 6 engine on display before. And there's that Nova, the VW based Nova that I was talking about, and how you lift the roof up to get in and out of it. What a bonkers looking car that is. Passenger's been there a while. I remember having a ride in one of these. Oh yes, his bottle's a bit low, isn't it? Yeah. I had a ride in one of these once. A friend of Grandad's used to have one of these.
When it was like that. Damn. Well, I like when that's up.
Yeah, well, you put the roof up to get in, and then.
Yeah, no, but can you drive it when that?
You can slowly. Yeah.
Alright.
You won't want to go down the motorway with the roof up, but no, it's quite a bonkers car. Yeah. Yes. There's that Stingray, the matching pair of Stingrays, in fact. Was it? Oh, right, yeah. There's the Renault Spider. A Ferrari at the back there. There's this Reliant SS1, a little Scimitar SS1, with the pop forward. They sort of pop like that, which makes them a bit more unusual than your regular pop-up lamps on MX-5s and TR7s. How clean is that?
That doesn't even look like an engine.
And the spare wheel perched at the front.
It's very pointy.
It is. There's that Celica we saw driving in before, 2005. MGB Roadster, engine on display, super shiny, really beautifully turned out car. It is. They've got the brake servo tucked away in the corner there at the back. Next to that, an MGTF.
Customer.
Let's go over this way away from the arena.
Oh yeah, all the posh
And the
people
commentary. There's that lovely little Series E that we saw before.
Just tell us a little bit about it.
Bonny little car.
It's Ferrari California T, 3.9.
And a magnificent Rolls Royce. Now, what model of Rolls Royce are we looking at? It's the Silver Wraith Empress Limousine of 1958.
Does anybody know what?
What an incredible looking car that is. A beautiful Austin 12 alongside. That incredible nickel plating.
Now, it's in
not chrome.
condition.
Where can we go? Let's get round here. This is incredible, isn't it?
Gleaming. I mean, given what just recently had, what we got today, how do you manage to keep it looking clean?
Beautiful examples of British classics there. There's that great Sunbeam Talbot. We'll have a look at that a bit later. And the J-Type. The Morris J-Type van. These came out with the Morris side valve engine that was fitted to the Morris Oxford MO.
It's absolutely fantastic.
Later the JB had the B-Series engine. It's a bit noisy over here. We've got a great Moggy Traveller.
It's a nice early one, this one.
Yeah, it's sort of a late 50s.
Really nice steering wheel on it.
Yeah, it's a late 50s. It's still got the clap hand wipers, but of course the split windscreen had gone by this point in time.
360s.
Yeah, and it's got the. It's still got the pop-up semaphore trafficators as well.
Such a nice steering wheel.
Yeah, they're really nice, aren't they? They did sort of simplify things as the 1960s rolled along, but it's still nice. There's just real nice details on some of the early Moggy Miners. You like your sprung steering wheels, don't you?
Yeah. This is probably a bit later than 17.1, 17.2.
Yeah, little Fiat 500. Oh, we've got some bits for sale in front of the Corvette. Anything we need. Anything juicy here. Ooh, got some Lucas lamps. That's got a bit of age to it. A signalling lamp, military lamp.
There's a fabulous MGA here in Greening with 43 on the side.
It's a nice thing.
And a crash hatch on the seat, on the passenger seat. So,
This magnificent LaSalle. This was related to Cadillac.
of course not. But
LaSalle was a
fantastic,
Cadillac
well, you can also
produced car. I hope you can hear me. We've got the tannoy behind, which
John, was it
we've timed it wrong being down this end of the show field, but we'll just do what we can. If we have the microphone pointing behind me, then
It's a fabulous car.
you should be able to hear me, hopefully. But what a magnificent LaSalle left-hand drive, presumably imported from America at some point. What a great looking car, so stylish, this era of car. What's this, early 40s? Yeah, 1940 it says there.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's
And what a great car that is.
version of it.
Let's just carry on along here, and we've got a black Austin A35 on midget wheels as well. That's quite a neat little car, original registration.
Do you use it just for shows, or do you use it for sort of regular trips out?
Regular trips out, that'll be used every couple of weeks, 10 days.
SU carburettor fitted to this one. There's that beautiful Citroen, we'll have a look at that in a minute. And here we have two standard 10s together. Great to see quite a few standards here today. There's the Vanguard estate that we were looking at as it drove in and back up the other end of the field. And here, two standard 10s. Fantastic. Beautiful example in blue and a very original grey car alongside it. Great to see these two here.
This is the heavy.
This is the light 15, I think. Traction Avant. The other one is, I think the bigger one over there is the heavy 15, I think. No, I think this is the light 15. There's the gearbox hung out the front.
Very, very little room.
So this is a left-hand drive French-built Citroen Traction. Traction is literally drive, front-wheel drive, Traction Avant. There's that Hillman Husky that drove in before. This is a regular at many of the classic shows events. Really great to see this one still on the road and being used as intended. Another Morris 8 here. This is the Morris 8 Series 2. So this is the updated version of the Series 1. The earlier cars had a chrome radiator surround. These have painted body colour radiator surrounds. And these easy clean wheels, the spoked wheels are gone by the time the Series 1 was introduced. There's a little Austin 7-box saloon alongside it, very much rivals of the day. Let's have a peer inside. Ooh, there's a whole raft of workshop manuals in the back there. Got a parts list for an Austin Metropolitan, no less. Interesting. It's the American Motors Corporation. So that's a parts list for the Nash Metropolitan, albeit with a BMC part number at the top right, just up there. So yeah, it's interesting to see. There's a little Austin 7. Probably, yeah. And there's a very bonny little Austin 7. So what year is that? About 1930, 32, somewhere around there. And here's that other Citroen Traction. Again, left-hand drive, and it's a bigger car than the maroon one. Next to that lovely Citroen we have the Bedford Dormobile that came in a little while ago. There's the Austin A40 Somerset. And the great little A40. Yeah, very nice too. Looks in really, really tasty condition.
A human skeleton in the passenger seat. Usually in the West.
Brings back a few memories driving these around. So this is an A40 Deluxe with the opening rear side windows and bumper overriders, all the mod cons. And it's got a black roof. That's a standard colour scheme for one of these.
got all these fabulous.
Isn't that like an option to have it body colour?
We will see, right.
A30 saloon.
Yeah, for me,
Painted grille.
It's not just
Usually
all
would have been
about the cars,
chrome.
It's about the people that own them. We have the opportunity to meet them both. Right then.
Right, I think he's finished, so let's carry on along here. Moggy
So,
thousand.
now
Oh,
we're
he
going
hasn't
to go
finished.
right the way
Oh
back,
dear,
folks.
let's carry on anyway.
To the very beginning.
There's the A30 we saw driving in before.
Because
Beautiful
we're
little
going
car.
back over 60 years.
Sunbeam Talbot
and we're
night.
going to go for all the
Beautiful
people
little
that
Sunbeam
were
Talbot.
manufactured before
Was he?
1960.
Oh wow.
If it
Yeah,
was
it's a very
19
elegant car that
up to
is.
1959, whatever it is, let's have you in the arena. Festive white. Now they were
The A40 Somerset is preparing to move. The 1200cc pre-B series engine in these. It's a very original looking car.
If anybody's picked up a white dress dog
The Rover's firing up as well.
with a green car,
I think it's pre-1960 cars is next. Hence these two probably going into the arena. Yeah, brings back memories having one of these. I had the back wheel fall off on that corner on mine. Wheel nuts flew off and the back wheel wedged itself under the back wing up in there, which was quite exciting. Driving over a freshly surfaced bridge near Northwich. It left a nice groove down the fresh tarmac.
Right then, let's see whether we can get some more cars in. All those manufactured before 1960. Can you just pull up next to the other MG?
Looks a bit like a big version of the Austin A30 really, doesn't it, with that curved rear window.
And we've got an MGA which goes back to
So that's about 1953, 54, and this A40 is about 1960, I would have thought. A Mark 1 A40 Farina. Farina because it was designed by Pinin Farina. This is very much an Austin design.
Citroen, can you go in next to the MG?
It's a very original looking car, that one.
Come on, let's have as many as we can get in.
The Somerset prepares to go into the arena.
We've got a lovely Rover as
There's
well.
that super original P6 2000.
And we've got, well, a car that is right close to my heart, a lovely little Standard 10. My very first car I bought was a Standard 10. Mine was in black. And I bought it way back in 19...
If we work our way to the end of this road, we can have a look at that great little Mercedes van.
Stunning little,
Isn't that a cracker?
absolutely stunning little Standard 10. It's a superb condition of car.
Isn't that just amazing? It is cool, isn't it? More cars lurking over here.
What a Austin coming in.
These look like Beetle headlamps on their side almost, don't they?
Is it Bosch?
Could be.
Oh, you go. Great to see you here. Thank you. Come on, let's have some of these lovely old cars.
Okay, let's carry on along this next row.
Can we have the Austin?
Little Wolseley Hornet, it's up for sale.
Let's have you right up
There we go. There's that great Herald. Sort of early-ish Herald 1200. Still got Herald across the front of the bonnet. That later changed to Triumph. But the very first cars had a big handle in the centre of the bonnet. Like here, there's a big handle to help pull the bonnet open with. Two classic Triumphs, a Herald 1360 and the late Mark III Spitfire. Just work our way through the trees. Go and have a look at that Sunbeam Alpine. Oh, that wasn't a good idea. That wasn't a good idea. Right. A great Alpine there. 1725cc. Oh, that's just below the MGB size engine, isn't it? Yeah, I think that was about it. Got a few cars around here. Cortina, Mark 1 Escort, it's a left-hand drive Mark 1 Escort. It's unusual.
Nice too, isn't it?
It is, it's like new in there, isn't it? It's like new. Don't know. Beetles. There's that Porsche 912. Yes. Yeah, lovely that is. MGB. That Mini. The Rally Prepared Mini. Groovy set of lamps across the front of that one. Try not walk down the bank. It's pretty nifty min. Twin tanks, just like some of the Cooper S's. That was an option on the Cooper S's to have the twin fuel tanks. MGB Roadster. Certainly getting through the batteries today, so maybe I'm spending too long on each car, who knows. Anyway, there's that dolly. Lovely brown example. Mark II Mexico. Similar to GTE, the SE6 version. Stag 2CV. Quite a late example of the Citroen 2CV, the air-cooled engine tucked away under that bonnet. Mark II Cortina, a 4-door saloon. The usual Mini, like I say, sliding. It's got the Mark I and Mark II sliding windows and the outer hinges, but it's got a Clubman front on it for a bit of extra engine access. That's quite neat. Many carburetors. It's a fancy cylinder head on there. Usually the carburetor is wedged up against the bulkhead on the standard Mini engines. Yeah. Minivan, the 95 van. A very original Series 3 Land Rover. Great old Landy that is. Look at the roof on that. It's probably not as watertight. It's maybe not as watertight as maybe it once was. Yeah, that's pretty neat.
I like the tyres on it.
Yeah.
Pretty chunky.
Huge tyres on the back. We've got a Ford control Land Rover here. Ooh, a Transit camper. Based on the Mark I Transit. It's a very civilised.
Original.
Yeah.
Had loads of signs shouting about it.
Oh, really?
Got a bit of green on you after you went in.
Have I got a bit of green?
Yeah, why did you walk through the tree?
I don't know. Ooh, next to the Capri, we've got a Volvo 144. Identical front end to the one that we had when I was a youth in the early 70s. Although this is fractionally later, same front, but by this point in time they'd gone with the flush door handles. The one that Grandad had like the push button sort of handle you do that with. You understand now, you know exactly what I'm on about, don't you? Have we been along there? We haven't, have we?
I found that I ended up skipping out or something there.
Yeah, I tend to get distracted a bit. So I've got an Anglia Deluxe. It's nice wide, slightly wider steel wheels, which looks just right, next to the great little 1360.
That's the one that went common the other day.
Is it? Yeah, it could be. Yeah, it looks like it, doesn't it? Yeah, it looks like the same one, doesn't it? There's that super original Morris Traveller that we saw driving in as well. What a great survivor that is.
Looks like the original wood, doesn't it?
Yeah, original wood, original paint. Eh?
Yeah, I don't know.
My wife now, my girlfriend at the time, and we went literally hundreds of miles in a...
There's that fantastic Vauxhall F-Type Victor Estate. I love these, very American styling. The wraparound, you know, if you can see that, the curved side glass, a bit like on the old Humber Hawk estates. They had curved rear side windows as well. A Vauxhall branded cover for the spare wheel, in fact. A picnic set as well in matching blue.
Here was had this I think it was I did an interview with him a couple of years ago.
Did you? Oh, right.
Well, she says, I hope you didn't tell them what we got up to in that.
Yeah, that's really nice. That's one of the slightly later facelifted F-Type Victors where they simplified the styling a little bit compared to the very first ones. Again, clap hand wipers like the Morris Minor we were looking at before. Yeah, pretty groovy. Mark I Escort, the Mexico, 1600 GT. We'll do the next row afterwards. Anglia, much modified, dark blue, very, very nice indeed. P1800S with the modified back end. Where did we see this one? Was it Eccleshall or Llandudno? Possibly. We have seen this before somewhere, but great job done on that. Herald 1360, beauty here in maroon. It's got one of these badges. We've got one of these hanging up in the garage. They used to have that on the standard 10. One of those. I don't know. The Jensen CV8. This is a regular here at many of the shows we get to. Great fiberglass body, mainly fiberglass, although the doors are skinned in aluminium, but mainly fiberglass. This is really thick, heavy-duty fiberglass body. You know, you think fiberglass bodies and you think of cracks and splits and all sorts. That's the handle in there for opening the bonnet behind there. Yeah, beautiful cars. Really, really lovely car. Here's the matching pair of Lotus Cortina Mark 1s, early A-frame car. Note the different side light arrangements on this one and a slightly narrower grille compared to the Aeroflow car alongside, where the grille extends below the headlights.
Again, have you been involved in keeping it like that?
Yeah, subtle differences.
Size of the intake.
Yeah, pretty fruity looking set of Webers in there.
What about the mechanics on it?
Very nice pair of classic Lotus Cortinas here today.
What CC?
Very, very groovy. Right, let's carry on up here.
They've got a crash gearbox, gate change.
Got the Morris 1300. There we go.
Yeah, it's
There's a Traveller for sale.
Well, I tell you what, it's fabulous to have it here today.
There's the Anglia Super, the 123E on a 1966 registration. The Triumph 1300, the front wheel drive Triumph 1300. It's got a pair of the old Lucas Square 8 lamps on the front. Optional accessory fog lamps on the front of that one. We've got the Mark II 4-door Cortina. Immaculate condition.
It's got stickers on his battery like you always want.
Yeah, you could eat your crumpets off that, couldn't you? It's immaculate.
Fry an egg on the...
You could fry an egg on there as well. The Mark II there. Mark I GT 4-door. Capri, one of many Capris. And the A40 Countryman.
Again, it's in superb condition.
Lovely to see that.
Any refurbishment? No, it's as I bought it. I bought it off
Similar front side lights to those on the Morris Minor 1000, although these on the A40 are deeper. These plastic lenses are deeper on the Mark 1 A40s compared to the Morris Minor. Oh, here we go, there's a Moggy alongside, so there you go. They are shallower on the Morris 1000 for some reason compared to those on the A40 Mark 1 here.
took on over to somewhere down Kent Way.
And here, basically two XJs, albeit this is the Daimler version. And there's the Series 2 alongside, so that's Series 1. These were introduced in 1968. Is it? Manual. So that's a manual Daimler, yeah. And we've got a Series 2 XJ alongside. If only I had a little bit more information to hand to tell you about this Series 1 Daimler. Fortunately, in my back pocket, I have my trusty copy of the Observer's Book of Automobiles. And let's see if the Series 1 Daimler makes an appearance in that fine little book. There we go, I knew it wouldn't let me down. The Daimler Sovereign 4.2 in Series 1 format. Bit of information there. 245 brake horsepower, 120 miles per hour, 0 to 60 in 9 seconds approximately. And there we go. Bit of extra information there. Twin SU carburetors, it says. And yeah, all sorts of handy information for the prospective Series 1 Daimler buyer. There we go. A turning circle of 36 feet. And there's the DS420 alongside it. Yeah, very handy little book. What do we have over here? Now we have one of the later P1800S's with the straight bumpers, a Volvo bodied car, and this beautiful W109 Mercedes, the V8 version. I think this was for sale at, where was this? Was it Eccleshall, wasn't it? This was up for sale, wasn't it? Yeah, last year, 2023. Looks like it's still for sale as well. Beautiful car. Yeah, it's a 109 series, this. The W108 had the straight 6, and the W109 was the V8. Right, we've got a Bedford CF Bedouin camper, 1972, not a converted vehicle. No, there we go, that's nice. Another classic camper, and the Volvo 144, this brings back memories. Gorgeous little Alfa Romeo Spider here. This is one of Harley's cars of the show, he just told me. Can't argue with that. What a beautiful car that is. Again with the clap hand wipers a la Morris Minor. Here's the 2500S. Of course he did the 2.5 PIs with the Lucas fuel injection. But this, yeah, it did sound nice, this one, didn't it? But this is the one I'd go for with the regular carburetors. Twin SUs on this one, I think. So the 2500S has the carbs. This is the engine I used to have in the Spitfire many, many years ago. Johnny Cash. Hey. Walk the line. And we will carry on walking the line. Right. There's a few goodies for sale here in front of this Escort. Do we need anything? No, we'll be strong. Be strong. Mark III Cortina GXL next to the Mark IV Ford Cortina that we saw before, which is a proper rare car, that is now. Is that a gear with a vinyl roof? Yeah, it's got a gear badge on it. Got the shiny wheel trims. Shiny door mirrors as well. So that's the gear. And there's that Baccy, the South African built Mark III Cortina based pickup. Rare car, we see that from time to time. The Mark I Capri over here. And the white example here with the V6. Mark I 3-litre GXL.
It's an early one for a V6.
Was it?
Which is probably why it was saved.
Colin the Capri. Family owned from new, purchased new in 1973 by my father.
I think it got stuck for the Jeep was pulling it.
Oh, did it?
It's the main event.
And there's that 96 Saab, the V4 Turbo. A crazy car that is, the Garrett Turbo. This lives just around the corner from Mum and Dad. Okay, back to classic Granadas. We've got a 2-litre here with the leopard print seating. How 70s is that? Complete with a wireless on the back there. On the end of this row we've got a bright red Alfa Sud Sprint. That's a rare car now. Very handsome machine. Harley's just videoing that for his channel. And we've got the Alpine here, the Renault Alpine GTA. Granada here from 1985. Ooh, hey, what do we see there?
Wait, did you put that there?
I didn't put that there, no.
Wait, what?
The SL Mercedes.
The diesel.
W123.
2.6 diesel.
Yep,
Is it 2.4? What's this then?
It's a Mitsubishi Colt. Is it a Tredier?
No,
is it a Tredier?
No, I forgot what it was.
Is it? I don't know. God, I haven't seen one for a long time. Oh, it's a Cordia. God.
Yeah, get it right.
Wowzers, that's... What's that? I haven't seen one of those for decades. It's great to see these really rare, obscure cars at shows like this. And how about this Volvo 345?
Decals.
Don't see many early ones of these. Yeah, the original stickers down the side. A mate of mine's mum had one of these, a 360 GLS. And it was that car that he managed to drive into the side of his mum's Volvo with. He wasn't in it at the time, the car shot off down the road, his Spitfire.
Left it in gear or something?
He was rocking it in gear to free the starter up, and he'd forgotten he'd left the ignition on and the choke on, and he was rocking it just at the back of the car, and it started itself and shot off down the road and crashed into the back of his mum's 360 GLS. So that's my abiding memory of these cars.
360 GLS survived?
Oh, it did, yeah, it survived. This was a DAF design. The Volvo bought out DAF and carried on with production of this particular car. But yeah, that's basically a DAF. We've got the Montego and Maestro enthusiasts over here. We saw several of these at the recent Crew Heritage meeting.
The Montego is very enthusiastic.
Yeah. Here's the Marina, sort of facelifted Marina 2, I guess this would be. Yeah, it's quite a late one, before the Ital came along. More Maestro goodness over here, the Metro Vanden Plas, the posh Metro. There's one of these that Mum had. Reeds of Cheadle. That was my local garage where I used to get all my brochures from.
Okay.
I can see you share my excitement, but yeah, fancy that.
Brochures from Reeds Reeds of Cheadle.
I imagine I do have some Metro brochures from Reeds of Cheadle. Very bonny example of the A-Class Mercedes. When did you last see such a good one of those? Good grief. Another Corsa here. Volvo 440, I think. Is this the 440 or 440? Yeah, it's a 440, isn't it? Is it? Yes. You're just looking at the brochure on top of the dash, aren't you? Lambda Sonde. Of course, it's a big deal having a catalytic converter fitted to your car back at the time, so hence the badge. So Astra on manoeuvres over there. Yeah, you don't see. Yeah, the V8 MG, the Mustang powered rear wheel drive. Right, we're going to head over in that direction because that is where the Ultra Jumble is, and I'm reliably informed that it's well worth having a look at. So we'll take a break from the cars just for a moment and go and have a look, see what offerings there are, items of memorabilia that we don't really need.
I do.
You do, yeah. So let's go and have a look. Quite neat on the Skoda mud flaps.
Thanks there, lads.
Electric soldering iron. Hello, nice.
It doesn't even need oiling up really, but that's a lovely one, isn't it? SO quart oil can. What a beauty that is. That'll look great with your other one, wouldn't it?
It's actually a lot less than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, that's a really nice find. I should have it myself really, shouldn't I?
That's alright. You agreed to the lending.
I did, yes. The bank of mum and dad came into play there.
I'll pay that.
I trust you. Kind of. Right.
Go
Carry on down here. Yeah. Many
I
more
like
goodies.
the earlier shape though, which is nice.
Yeah.
That's probably the pre-war shape.
Yeah, it's nice. Very, very nice.
There's a few more here. Nothing. There's a nice Lucas battery for it.
Well, Wolseley Hornets heading off. And here we are back with the black A35 and the two standard 10s. Those rivals back in the day, both identically sized engines, 948cc. That's quite a groovy bonnet mascot, but this is the Gold Star, the Super 10 Gold Star. So I'm guessing that's what that's all about. Bit of revving going on over there, in the Fiat Abarth 595. Well, let's have a look at this phenomenal little blue Standard 10, 1958 Standard Super 10 Gold Star, 41,900 miles from new. What a treat to see that, isn't it? Beautiful that. Really, really nice.
This one was at Trentham in the concourse bit.
Was that in the Trent? Oh, on the gravel area at Trentham Gardens, yes. If you've not seen that video yet, please check that out, the Trentham Gardens. That was a really good show. That was the first time we went there in 2023. Different grille treatment, you can see different grille on that one compared to this one. Our Standard 8 I think has got a grille off one of these on it. A lovely old Hills number plate as well. Just been having another look at this Aronde, and you might remember I thought it looked a bit like a Facel Vega, and it turns out, the owner was telling me, these were actually built by Facel on behalf of Simca, hence similarities. How cool is that? There we are. Winner Sports and Convertible. Oh, I see more bits for sale over here on the floor. So only right and proper that we go and have a look. A few Beetles on moves.
All the motorcycles. But because the weather and the conditions in the arena.
Ooh, got another XK140 here. This one bright red. We've already seen the Old English white. 140, yeah, a bit of mud on there.
It's got a really nice little Goodwood. I don't know what it is, like Paddock Pass or something like that.
Oh, right, yeah. There's a, oh, yeah, the Goodwood.
Nice, though, isn't it?
Yeah. Many Lotuses here. Lotus Europa here.
Yeah, he looks it. He's just in.
Pretty wild looking car. The Land Drophead Coupe. Getting plenty of attention. Looks like a class winner. Some XLs over the back there, I think we saw those driving in before, in the Spree. Going on round here. There's one of those M100 series of lands, hence the M100 registration number. Yeah, the Honda badged Discovery. The Honda Crossroad. Rover and Honda collaboration.
Want to run up there, chuck it in the car?
No, because I get cold again.
The Rover P6 is returning to the fold, probably just been into the arena, I would have thought. Over here, the mighty 750IL, a long wheelbase V12. This is the E38 era of 7 Series BMW long wheelbase, hence the L and the badging on the back. I ran one of these for a while. Dad had one. He had an N registered one in dark green metallic, a 750IL. Yeah, it's exactly the same as this one. And prior to that, I ran a couple of the previous shape, the E32 750i, the 750i, the short wheel, standard wheelbase. And the first one was a 1987 E32 series 750IL ex-motor show car. And that one bombed along really, really well. But beautiful engine in these. This is a 5.4. The earlier ones were 5 litres. Yeah.
Same engine?
This is 5.4.
Just enlarged?
Yeah. And that basic engine block went on to be used in the McLaren F1 with various modifications. The V12, yeah, the BMW V12 went into the McLaren F1 supercar. Here's that 840 with the V8 engine under its bonnet, wedged under the bulkhead there. It's quite far back in the engine bay. And of course they did the V12 version of these as well, the 850. Yeah, quite a rare car now.
Yeah,
that
they're
is.
cool, those.
Yeah, they are cool.
Especially if it was a manual one.
And there's that E39 that we saw a little while ago. Really smart 2-door 3 Series there, the E30.
Good looking car.
This is an M535i. I thought it was because the M5s didn't tend to come with the body kits on them, whereas the M535s do. So this was sort of the sported up version of the regular 535i. The E28 Series, 5 Series, and these are really nice cars. Right, well there are a few gaps in the field now, so I think we will add to them and start disappearing northwards back home. It's been an entertaining day. The V8 Rover.
Sounds alright.
Yeah, it sounds quite fruity that does, doesn't it? That's about to make a move.
Is he driving with this boot?
And we will do the same. So, anyway, thank you very much for watching. Fortunately, it stayed dry. The heavens have been on our side, which is very, very welcome. You know, this is the muddy bit. Yes, I'm only 2-wheel drive, so we'll stick to the slightly firmer ground.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you very much for watching. It's been great to have a wander around. The first big outdoor show, the first major outdoor walk and talk video for 2024. We're just walking past a mighty V10 powered Audi.
To spark plug number 5.
You take that bit of trunking off there, you take that off to get at the plugs a little bit further back. Yeah, what an engine that is. V10. Oh heck, it is. It is. Right, thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, all that kind of thing. Have a look around the rest of the channel before you disappear, and there will be many, many more videos along very, very soon. So bye for now. Well, we had a good run back from Weston Park, part of the way in convoy with that Saab 96 V4 Turbo, and yeah, it was keeping up very, very nicely behind us. And it was quick, and it's not actually a bad day, it's a lot brighter here, so maybe it's a good opportunity to just give the V8 Pilot an airing. It's not been outside for a few weeks, and it's probably a little bit upset that it didn't get to go to a show today,
Yeah,
but
same.
so why don't we give this one a little airing. Right, see if we can find reverse. Yeah, he's found it. Just remember this. To gingerly do a 3-point turn. I don't want to leave a V8 impression on the side of that, really. Keeps him off the Xbox if nothing else. And it seems right and proper to take it for a little airing down the road. I can't really imagine rallying one of these in the Monte Carlo, I must be honest. That's what they did back in about 1950. I think it was Ken Wharton, the racing driver. Pretty sure it was him that rallied one of these on the Monte.
Especially with bench seats and very wallowy ride.
Yeah, it's not really built for corners. It's a bit narrow in places, especially when we have modern cars nearby.
Torque,
no need to change down mercifully.
this is a hard job.
Yeah, not a bad day for it really. Just get a little bit narrow up here, so we'll take it easy. Well, we went for a test drive with the previous owner. He took us out for quite a long spin in it.
Yeah, did sound really good, especially when the first time, you know.
Yeah, it's a very deep woofle, isn't it? Some V8s can be quite high pitched. These old Fords, the old flathead.
Well, I guess the Jeep's got a high pitch, you know, Hemi.
Yeah, that's a very different sounding engine compared to this.
And again, this is a flathead.
It is.
And it's about 70 years older.
And if you like the sound of flatheads, there are a couple of flathead V8s at Weston Park in the Generations Rally video, which went live today, funny enough. Yeah, I never need much excuse to take this for a spin. Right, I shall watch him in. Just a little airing, just to exercise the brakes really. A little bit, that's it. Yeah, keep it going. Keep coming. There we go. Just another little airing for Henry Ford's finest. Disconnect the battery and then we're all good to go back inside. Hey, that rounds out a very agreeable day spent, for the most part, down at Weston Park.